Hey everyone, our Sean McBride. I got Jena Apgar joining me. We're going to be talking about 14 ways you're fessing up your social media. And so we'll be
Failing.
failing. What is the F word we're looking for? I'm not sure.
Depends on the audience.
Depends on the audience. So we're going with the more conservative view, but a lot of people are failing or fessing or something up their social media.
Trucking up their social media.
Trucking up. Ducking.
Trucking. I said trucking.
You said trucking, and I said ducking because your cell phone often likes to autocorrect.
I've never met ducking in my entire life.
I know. Exactly. So this is fun because it gives people a chance to think and reflect a little bit. So Jena, Warfare Marketing, tell folks just quickly about you, and then we'll jump into
Man, that is like my least favorite thing to do, is give like the intro about who I am and what's my authority. I think the best that sums it up, especially when it comes to this kind of stuff, is kind of my specialty, or what it's become, is marketing strategy. And that really comes from a military background, working in intel, building strategies for quite literally warfare. But when I do these presentations, because I'm actually staring at a slide deck compared to the one we did last week when I was all blonde and not fun. Now I match the painting. Like if I line up just right, I match it.
You were fun last week.
Yeah, but I wasn't this fun.
I'm enjoying
but
the
I really do visualize business as like a giant game of Risk. Have you ever played Risk?
I have not.
It's almost like Monopoly, like to make people cry or throw the board. But essentially every single, you're rolling the dice and you're trying to take over world domination, right? Country by country, continent by continent. And every time you get a new country, you get more armies.
Yes.
So you can take over. It's like this exponential cheat is the whole point of the game. And if you can take over a whole continent, you get even more. So business is the same way. Of like, I've talked to so many business owners who want to be like chill, right? Oh, I want to be nice. Like we can work together with the competition. I'm like, no, there's a client. And for every single client you get, you now have more resources and assets to get more clients, like on an exponential basis. So the military background really plays, like from the graphic design point of view, I did go to art school, obviously. I can't wait to walk into the VA with this. This will be great. Every military person is just going to stare at me weird.
You're going to keep this for a while then?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. See how, when I work with lawyers and doctors, how that goes. I think they'll giggle, right?
I mean, I enjoy it, but I'm a little bit of a different lawyer. I dress a little differently than your average lawyer.
A little bit, right? Well, that's kind of my background. So at this point, I've done influencing. I did a ton of social media, down to the point where I can finish about an entire year's worth of posts in about one day. We add video, it's about 2 days. If I train someone else to do it, it takes them more like a week. And then just strategy, because man, watching people flag it, I did, and this is where a lot of this came from. I've got 14 of them of how they're ducking it up. And I did so many, one of the places I did for a while was Fiverr. I would offer a $5 Facebook assessment, and I would go down, like actually custom go down there on Facebook and audit it. And I have an audit template, like in Evernote, that just keeps going. And every time I would come up with a new thing that people were messing up, I'd type it in. And so when I did the next one, I just had to delete rows. It was actually easier to delete rows because the consistency of how everyone is screwing it up is exactly the same.
Okay, well, that's a great place to start. So
exactly the same.
Exactly the same. And I think I see the same thing with my business clients coming in, right? So they show up and a lot of common mistakes, And so,
all right. You're like giggling. You're like, oh, I've seen this before. You're actually looking for it. You're like, oh, there.
Yeah, exactly.
There. I will say, and I have like this pretty picture, like the iconic iceberg. Because social media, like at the mountain that you see above the water, social media is only the little tippy top of the iceberg that you see, and it doesn't count the rest of the mountain and everything in between. So I do advise everyone to have a bigger strategy, and they'll kind of see where that comes in. That's kind of like number one. If you don't have a bigger strategy, man, nothing fits. Like Facebook is one of the most comprehensive social media platforms. Like we have a framework of 8 separate sections that fill out our framework from top to bottom, that if you can fill out that framework, you can get clients just going in circles. And that's where you just hit that consistent money while you sleep type thing. But most people don't do all of them, and they try to make social media the end all be all of their marketing, because like social media is awesome and these people made lots of money on social media. I bought a course, it says so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you missed the part where they had all this other stuff going on and they had other blanks filled in. Like I can only get Facebook to fill about 7, at most 6. If you're, for even the average person, maybe 5, right? So 1, they don't work with a strategy. And so they're just throwing everything at a post thinking that post is going to save them.
Right.
And it just won't. That post fills 1 block. 1.
Gotta be bigger.
Gotta be bigger.
Is that our first mistake?
That's the first one, not have, because that is like the biggest one. That is if you could get people to fix one thing, just one, it would be having overarching strategy that connected all their pieces, and making sure you have something in each one of those 8 boxes, because if you don't, it really doesn't work, or it's going to cost you a lot more than it should.
Okay. So people don't have a strategy. I see this in my world as well. Okay. So
there's a business strategy, a marketing strategy, a logistics strategy. Everything's got a strategy, and somehow they all come together, right?
Right. And a lot of people just do. Okay. So that's number 1. What's number 2?
I don't actually see this one as much, but I still freaking see it with all my friend requests, is that they don't actually have a business page. They're operating purely off their personal page for their business.
Yes.
Some of them still have business names on it, which Facebook kind of cracked down really heavily on. And especially like you get like a realtor or financial people, or even like I've seen CEOs with bigger businesses, and they don't actually have a separate business page, like the formal. I'm not even talking about going so far as having like the Facebook or business.facebook.com, like the formal business page, but just a business page with admins that they can actually run ads from.
Yes. I see a lot of this. People are just, posting off their personal page, right?
And I get it, because it has more organic views, right? Like the business has been squashed. Like it's minuscule. You have to really work for it, and you have to use different techniques. Got to have a business page, man.
Okay. Got to have a business page.
Number 3, they are afraid to promote themselves. And this one seems really odd, especially telling a guy who wears like flamingos on his business coat. Yes. But most people are afraid to put themselves out there.
Yep. I see that. And people are very reserved in what they post, or they,
not just what they post, but they don't want their friends to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And like when I see like these really intelligent people, they'll come out of like high-end consulting gigs. Like some of those are the worst. They're like, I used to do billion-dollar deals. And I'm like, yeah, but now you're running this. Like, why would you not want to be proud of that business? And like, they don't want their old consulting friends to see it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you're retired. Like, just have fun. Like,
yes, I get it. Okay. So yeah, there's definitely an element of a lot of people. They want to be seen by some percentage of the audience, but they don't want to be seen by others, right? Which puts you in a catch-22 circle where you're never going to get.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's your friends. Like, completely set up your Facebook page, do the things that, like, we'll talk about over here. And then there's this cute little button, like, when you go on your business page, there's 3 little dots about mid-center just under the heading. And you click it, and it says invite friends. And Facebook even knows now, and they just put a button that says invite all.
Yeah.
Like, do that every other day for a few weeks, and you'll invite your whole friends, even if you've got a list of like 5,000 friends. The metrics vanity, of course. But you're like real friends or people who are interested in that kind of business, they'll go see it. If you have a good banner at the top, they're like, oh, I didn't know they were in real estate. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, have the rest of your page set up first, look professional. But don't be afraid to like let people know what you're doing.
Love it. Okay. Number 4.
Yeah, number 4. This one's fun. Your images suck balls.
You said what?
Their images suck. Like, they will take photography that's terrible. Like, you're holding this amazing smartphone. Where's my smartphone? This little thing is more powerful than the thing that put people on the moon, assuming you believe that happened.
Right.
There's like some conspiracy theorists out there.
I've heard that, yes.
But it's like crazy powerful. Like, take a picture and run a few filters to brighten it up. Like, take a basic photography class and learn how to like look at the light instead of the light being behind you, or just if you're going to do some graphics, don't just steal somebody else's. Go to
Right.
Fiverr, pay $5 for one. I use Design Pickle. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but you can get like 30 more than 30. I like have them pump out graphics all day, but just get some basic, really good graphics.
Yep.
Take some decent pictures. Like I see people out there, like this nice business. I had one business. It's a $35 to $50 million a year business with terrible images.
Mm-hmm.
Like their videos were actually pretty good. They paid, good money to get drone video of their construction, but their actual photos were terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Like $5, dress them up, brand them. I know that's crazy, but get better pictures. Got a smartphone, use it.
Yeah, be smart with your smartphone.
Might be asking a lot of the most of the population.
Yes, but we have good people. We have good business owners.
We do, and they're really smart. It's just like be a little bit more smarter. Yeah. Number 5, and this kind of goes back to number 1 with not having a strategy, is they have no clear, consistent messaging.
Yep.
One of the things, and this is part of having kind of like the 8-step process, is when you know what kind of post or what kind of private message you're sending, or if it's a comment, when you understand where that individual message stands in that 8-step framework, you should know exactly what the call to action is.
Okay.
Because the call to action in box number 1 should only be to get you to box number 2. Box 2 should only get you to 3, 3 to get you to 4, 4 to 5. The equivalent without, because that's a whole like hour presentation, if not more, is dating. Like if, I walk into a bar and a guy comes up and he's like, I'd like to show you my package. You're jumping right to step 5. Yeah, not even 5. 1, 2,
That's only
3,
5 steps.
5, 6. You're jumping to step 6.
This may be a whole other
totally. I've slapped people for less. And if you're going up to these, like in these 30-second networking type groups, which I know a lot of business owners will go do, or was it BNI? They go in there like, I'd like to ask for referrals. Well, bitch, you're on step 8. Like you're coming in, and when you compare this 8-step process to the 12-step process of human to human, I don't know you, to getting jiggy with it and making babies, it's the equivalent of me going up to a stranger and sticking my hands on their face. Like it's really awkward.
Particularly right now during this.
Oh man, yeah. I'm in Texas. That might get you shot.
All right.
but if you have that strategy and you have crystal clear messaging and you've nailed it down, then like, hey, this was just a post on Facebook. This is only box number 2. We're just engaging them. All I should be doing now is like, if they've commented, well, the post should only be engaging them, right? And asking them to go to step 3. They're commenting. I can be just like hinting them a little over to step 3. Have you tried to get our our amazing download, or our, what do I do for my bankruptcy attorneys? Like the comprehensive something about bankruptcy. I don't even remember the fancy word I used.
Yeah, but that's right. So many people.
Everyone does lead magnets though, right?
Right.
That's the only thing you should be doing on Facebook.
Yep. All right. Number 6.
No continuity. So we're kind of back to bad graphics and no messaging and no strategy. If I look at someone's social media, it should be very clear. If I go to Twitter or if I go to Facebook or anywhere else, like a billboard, there should be continuity. I should be able to recognize that brand. Like you think about a big brand like Walmart. There's no way that you could go to anything property owned by Walmart and not know it's Walmart.
Right.
That blue, that yellow, the little bouncing smiley face, all that, everything is the same no matter where you go.
Right.
Like even if they do a video, the little banner graphics, even if their logo's not on it, is in their blue. It's in their yellow, right? It's using their stuff. So build a brand, like not just, oh, my logo's in red, white, and blue. No. Like, what are the icons you're going to use? What kind of shapes are you going to use? What kind of imagery are you going to use? And then actually implement it into your stuff and be consistent.
Yep. Love it.
Fair enough.
Number 7.
The other one is inconsistency, kind of like from the other one, but this would be in timing. So when I'm going through somebody's social media, I'll notice like a burst, like they're really trying, and they'll have like 4 posts a day, just boom, boom, boom. And then it'll be 2 weeks, and then like 3 posts, and then like 5 weeks. Like there's just really crooked little way, like nothing is consistent. And then I've actually been to businesses that haven't posted in 2 years. Like they just set up their profile and they're like, I'm out.
Right.
And so then 2 years later, when I go to look back and I do the research, like whether I should choose this company or that company, I'm looking at that company, like true story. I'm like, oh, you're dead in the water.
Yeah.
You haven't posted anything. You don't exist. This person is posting all the time. They're in business. They're doing something. So
Right. Yes.
posts. And with all the schedulers, they're like nothing now. You can go to AppSumo and get one for like a lifetime for like $39-$49 for one business, or what are they? I think Post Planner starts at $7, Hootsuite is $15. Like maybe you don't get all the bells and whistles like I do, but you get a scheduler, send everything out at once.
Makes sense. Yep. All right.
I feel like I'm doing all the talking.
Well, you've got the 14 tips, right? I'm here listening and collecting advice for our great audience, but
That's fair. Number 8 is you vomit. People go on social media and they only talk about themselves.
Yes.
And it's just, they don't know what to post, and they're trying to write out this one post at a time. Mm-hmm. And you're like, I should post, like, what should I post? And they end up saying the exact same thing on a regular basis. They only talk about themselves. They're not really providing any education or value, no consistency. And they're just there, like there. And so then they wonder, like, why is nobody reading my social media posts? I was like, because they don't give a duck what you're talking about. You're just talking about yourself.
I see that, and I see the people, come buy my stuff now, right? And it doesn't connect it to the customer's problem, doesn't connect it to a reason, right?
No. But we also found, like, one of the things we do when we're building out social media for someone else, when we schedule them out, like ours is a little bit more unique. We don't do it on a month-to-month contract. It's a 1-year contract. And that's because we build the entire year out and then schedule it. Because when you build it out that way, instead of like just sitting there for 30 minutes trying to figure out what to say, and you always talk about yourself and you always talk about what you're doing in your day-to-day activities, you can actually set a plan out and make sure everything is different. So I can take like a Tuesday tip hashtag on Tuesdays, and I can come up with something a business talks about, like things that are important to them. And I can come up with 52, because 52 weeks in a year, and I can come up with 52 separate tips. And then I can come up with 52 separate graphics that are all branded, that all kind of look the same for Tuesday, that are all the same shapes and all the same graphics or similar coordinating graphics. And the messaging is all the same. And instead of it taking me 30 minutes per post, when I get the idea, once I've got it, I can finish it in an hour to an hour and a half, and then put it all in the scheduler and upload it, and it's done. And now it's not word vomit. Now it's thoughtful, engaging information with shareable images that are brand consistent. Yep.
Okay. Makes sense.
And it's funny, like each one of these could probably be its own 1-hour presentation to like go in depth and show people how to do them.
Not today, but yeah, we can.
No, I mean, quarantine's boring, but
we're not doing a 14-hour special today.
Not for free. Not for free. Lots of tea. Number 9, they are link happy. So this comes kind of from the one before. They don't know what to post, and they don't want to talk all about themselves. And they've been told that social media is one of the 4 pillars of SEO. And it's the one that all the SEO guys miss terribly. But then they just go in there just blobbing links. They do links to their website, links to their lead magnet, links to their sales pages, link. And Facebook hates links. Right. Because you are pointing away from their site. And now, at least now they like pop it up in a separate window and you stay on Facebook, which was not always the case. And they even now roll ads inside of news stories. Yeah. But it's still taking you away. It's diverting your attention away from their ads and their native content, right? So they don't like that. It's good for your SEO, but it's not good for your algorithm. So we try to tell people to limit 1 link to themselves a week. Okay. And then 1 link to something that's an industry authority, non-competitive, or a networking partner a week. That's it. one of each, 2 links a week.
Very limited.
Yeah, very limited. I mean, I could see if you're doing a specific campaign, but
Right.
on average, like, again, this is why it's better to schedule it out over time. Plan it that way, so you're not just putting all that out there and ruining your algorithm.
Yep. Okay. Number 10, right?
Yeah, number 10. So kind of hinted at this one, don't be a freaking narcissist. And this one is really easy to solve. We tell people to build a topic map, which is just saying, put yourself in the middle, because we all know that everyone's self of their business is like the center of their world. But what are like 5 other things that your customers care about that are non-competitive to your business that they care about those? So Rosetta Stone is usually the example that I use, and I just bought it, man. As soon as quarantine popped up, Rosetta Stone was like, I've got something you can do. I got it for a lifetime with all the languages.
All the languages?
All of the languages for a lifetime package. All like levels.
I'm going to speak everything.
I'm going to speak everything. I looked at my daughter and I was like, it's $200 for a lifetime, or I don't know, it's $250. And she's like, I'm in for half. Done. Bye. Right from my cell phone. But one of the things, if you go and like, I've studied their social media page, is they rarely talk about software, and they rarely talk about actually learning a language, which is what they sell. What they talk about is amazing job opportunities overseas, and the ability to travel, and the ability to get jobs here translating, like all the different things that you can do when you know more than one language.
Right.
That would make you want to go buy it. It's providing the reason to buy their product, right?
Yep.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you know the history of the receipts. The guy tried to sell the register that printed out the receipt to business owners, and they were like, yeah, we don't need that, right? Our calculator's good. So instead they went and they sold the public on wanting a receipt.
Okay.
And once the public wanted a receipt and they were coming in, hey, can I have a receipt? And the business owners get tired of writing one. Now all of a sudden they want a machine that does it. And now our landfill is like, I don't know, 1/10 receipts. It's something ridiculous, but you're wanting on social media to sell them the thing that comes like the want. Why do they want your product? What's the need that drives them, right?
Got it. Makes sense.
Let's see, did I actually write that one in? No, I just know it by the picture. Stay away from politics.
Okay.
That's number 11. Unless politics is your game.
Yeah, well, I read somewhere there was somebody out there, and they like every year they have like 2 Facebook pages. They got one that's like all Democratic stuff, and they sell T-shirts, and they got one that's all Republican.
Well, that's different. They are selling T-shirts, right? And they have 2 separate pages.
Yeah,
right?
It all comes from like the same warehouse. Like your
and
Donald
that's fine.
Trump T-shirt and your Joe Biden T-shirt are sitting next to.
But you cannot have one page with Trump stuff and another one with Biden stuff. Like, that's a great way to start a war in all the wrong ways, right?
Right.
So I mean, and they're selling T-shirts, right, that have like the logo and stuff for whatever, red versus blue. But if you're an accountant and your people are all the way across the board, keep your trap shut.
Yep.
Like, I've learned to lead. Like, I don't know if you support or not. Well, either way, here's the story. Like, even then, I try to lead. Like, I don't care, but this is still funny, right?
Right.
But I have seen people step into those trenches. That's some trench warfare right there, and end up with like 1-star reviews. Just bing, 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 bing. Especially during an election year, somebody will take your comment and share it to someone else, and like they will all pull up and gang up on you.
Doesn't sound like a good situation.
And it's just not. It's just not worth it unless your business is tied in some way to politics. Like, if you're down and like, I have one client, actually the client that story is from, he's in Arkansas, and 83% of the electorate in his county is Republican. He even runs on the Republican thing sometimes. That doesn't mean that someone in Florida can't write him a negative review. So if you really want to go there, just be sure you're ready to go there and lose 50% of your peeps. Oh, I think I lost sound on you.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Little error there just popped up, said my microphone wasn't working. Very odd.
glad I called you on it.
Thank you.
All
Appreciate it.
right.
Otherwise, I would have been talking anyway.
Number
12.
12. No video. I
Okay.
get it. Video is harder to make. There's a couple
Yep.
little platforms out there that make it a little easier. Back to your smartphone, you can get a little selfie stick, or what are those little things called, like that are fancier, like $200.
Oh, the gimbals.
Gimbals, like a little cell phone gimbals, like $200. A good one is like $200 on Amazon. Get one. Make some video, do some lives. You can go live from a gimbal. It's really easy. You don't have to have the whole Zoom fancy setup with like interviews and all that.
Yeah.
And the live has been amazing. Like I was able to grow my reach, my organic reach amazingly doing lives. That's maybe why you're doing them, right?
I tell you what, especially with quarantine, people are hanging out at home, they're watching videos, and we're helping business owners. So it's a win.
Well, and if you can do like a Gary V thing, you can make the videos, even if nobody watches it, you can turn around and upload it to YouTube, give it some good SEO keywords. People will be looking for the topic, find it. It works that way. Put your address in there. It helps with the Google search for your business.
Yep.
Chop it up, turn it into future Instagram, Facebook content, all sorts of stuff. So video works. I had one girl who was doing social media and speaking at a conference I was at. Man, and I was like, Jena, you're speaking 3 out of the 4 sessions in the marketing room.
Yep.
So when she was on, I was like, just shut up and eat your breakfast. Just scarf down some food, whatever she says, it's whatever. Like, just nod your head in agreement. Because everyone in that community, in that veteran community, knows me from marketing. So anytime someone says something about marketing, they all go, is that true? So she's up there speaking, and she's saying the dumbest things I've ever heard. Like, she has no slides, she's looking at note cards. I'm like, she's new, Jena, just shut up and eat. And she got to the video part, and she was like, don't worry about video, nobody watches video on Facebook. And I'm like, wait, what? They consume so much video on Facebook. Facebook is like devoting whole sections to it. Like, they're trying to like outdo YouTube. That is their goal. And whatever their goal is, that's what their algorithm is going to push. So when they bought Instagram, if you sent a post from Instagram to Facebook, that Facebook post actually got more organic reach because that was their goal. Right. And when they introduced stories, that's their goal, to push new stories, because they wanted to squash Snapchat. And when they're introducing live video to help squash, and they did squash Periscope, right? Yeah. That's what they push. So whatever they're wanting, go ahead and jump full in, because they're going to take your organic traffic and just zoom it right up, right?
Yep.
So really don't be afraid of video.
Yep. Smart idea.
I like it. Number 13, confusion. You're causing your own confusion by not having clear call to actions.
Yep.
There's nothing like, people should not like read a post from you or have a message and not know exactly what to do next.
Yep.
Like, going back to the strategy, they're sheep. Think about them as sheep, and you're the sheep dog or the herder or whatever you want to call it. Where do you want to lead them to next? Tell them. If they have to think about it, if they've got to process it in their own head, they're not that clever. They don't care about you. They're worried about, hey, what am I going to cook for dinner? Why is my kid screaming? I have to homeschool, really? There's all sorts of other things going through their head. So if they're motivated, they could actually not buy because you haven't directed them so.
Yep, I think that's really true. Okay. Number 14.
Number 14. You're cheap.
Did you just call me cheap?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I've called business owners cheap. Everyone wants to play the organic game, right? And the organic game still works like on something like LinkedIn, where it's not as fully developed. But on something like Facebook that has fully developed, it's like come into its grown-up self. You're not going to get that amazing organic structure that you used to get. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's a lot more difficult to plan, right? It's like something you got lucky, or, you know, you happen to be filming and like a stop sign blew and smashed you in the head and you're going viral for all the wrong reasons. Or I had a friend go viral who was a marketer. Now he's a real estate agent, and he got locked into UPS. So he spent the night in UPS, like filming himself, and by happenstance that went viral. So a lot of the things that go organically viral, you can't plan as much, right?
Yep.
Inexpensively, like you have to go hire a camera crew and make a funny video and hire actors and kind of do the Harmon Brothers kind of act. But even those people are putting money behind their ads.
Yes.
They're putting, like, I have a couple of my bankruptcy attorneys that we do social media for, will do the post, and they don't want to pay for Facebook ad management, which I get. But what they'll do is they'll have us set up Facebook audiences in the background. So they could say, here's my existing customers, here's the gold audience, here's my warm customers type thing. And they will just take our post and they'll promote their post, which I never advise doing, again, without a strategy. You'll waste your money. Facebook loves it, makes good money for them. But they'll promote those posts to give them a little bit more viewership to the people they are trying to be famous with.
Yep.
But if you're not willing to pay a little bit or take the time to share it to business groups and get it in front of the people that you want it, you're never going to be seen.
Yep. You get buried in that obscurity.
You do. And my only last one is, and this is from my military self, is whenever you're doing something, to do it all the way. So a lot of people, they do that up and down game. They'll post for like 3 weeks consistently and then they'll stop. But they never knew what to do with each post, and they never had a strategy to sharing the post, or they never had an ad strategy to, like, they move it out of box number 2 in the strategy, right? Is to build a complete bridge, you know, figure out all 8 sections of your strategy and make sure there's one rinky dink. Like in the military, we have the Army Corps of Engineers. And if you need to get from island to island, right, they will build the most terrible looking bridge you've ever seen. It's mostly flat. It's on pontoons. If you walk across it, you're going to probably get seasick and vomit. Like, it's moving all the way around. But likewise, you can drive a tank across it.
Yep.
You can get the tank from point A to B. And that's what you need in your business, is to be able to get to the other side, to make more money, to get the clients, to get them pulled through, to get their reviews, and to get them recommending you.
Yes.
So that your acquisition cost goes down and you can slowly build up your bridge until you got a Golden Gate Bridge. I don't even know the name of my bridges. Not my state. If it's not in Texas, I don't know it. But you can build up that bridge, but you do need one solid foundation to work upon and to build upon.
Love it. Love it. Awesome. Jena, great tips. Folks, go subscribe to the Non-Traditional Social Media YouTube channel, where we'll be bringing you more tips like this. Jena's been on and visited with us twice now. Jena, how do people go check you out? How do they go find your work?
Here, I even got like a little, if I can share my screen. I don't even know how to do that anymore. Here we go. Did it work? It worked. It's up. Oh, does it say Zoom? Oh, mine says Zoom. Oh, I see. It's really little. Ha 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 ha. But there's my phone number there.
Awesome.
Did it even go away? I can tell, like, I have not.
I can see it's like your PowerPoint presentation in the one slide. People can read it.
Yeah, there you go. I have it all little, but if they'll just call me there, text me. Actually, don't call me, please, dear God, don't call me. But if they'll text me there, we can talk strategy or Facebook or possibilities there.
Fantastic. Great. You've been a wonderful resource, Jena. Thank you for joining us. Folks watching, pat yourself on the back. Drop your comments. I want to hear from you, what your questions are, what your issues are, what future guests we should have on the Non-Traditional Social Media.
A duck.
Literally a duck. All right, folks. Great stuff. Pat yourself on the back for doing hard work. I'm looking forward to reading your comments. I'll talk to you soon.